Hey Joyce, are you there? I'm really sorry to drop this news on you all of a sudden, but my sister is going to be staying with us for a while from this weekend. So, if you could help me get things ready for her before she arrives, I would really appreciate that.
Wait a second, you mean that your sister is going to be coming to stay with us this weekend?
Yeah, I actually just heard that this was happening from my mom not that long ago. I guess that Mom and my sister Beth had been talking about this for a while, but my mom never said anything to me about it. But I guess that Beth is pregnant and she wants to have the kid back home. So that's why she's coming back.
I didn't even know that your sister was pregnant. When did that happen? And why are you just finding out about all of this now?
I don't know, but I certainly didn't know that she was pregnant either. In fact, I had to kinda push Mom to give me the whole story. But she just told me that you and I should be grateful to my parents for letting us live with them even though we don't have any sons. So I just really don't know what to do at all. This is a lot to take in all at once.
I had no idea that that's how your mom felt about us living here.
I know, and I just want to say that I'm really sorry for how my family acts sometimes. But anyways, my mom hid this from us well, and now we can't really say no. So, anyways, if you could just please get ready to live with my sister for a few months, I think we'll just have to grit our teeth and bear through.
Yeah, of course, a few months isn't that bad. Besides, you must be pretty excited to get to see your sister after so long, right? Just please let me know if there's anything I can do around the house to make things easier on everyone.
Thank you so much for understanding, Joyce. I knew that you would, but I'm just sorry that my mom is always running the house like this. I just wish that she would have given us even just a little more heads up that this was going to be happening. Did you know that she wasn't even going to tell you? She demanded that I do it. I can't believe that she would really try so hard at hiding something like this from you and I. And then after all that, she can't even tell people this is happening herself.
Well, there's really not much that can be done about that now, right? Besides, I'm pretty sure that your mom just doesn't like me. I mean, I don't even think that we've said a word to each other for the past month or so.
Wait a second. You're telling me that you and my mom haven't talked at all to each other in the past month?
I mean, when you're in the room, we'll maybe exchange just the bare minimum of words. But we never say anything to each other at all when it's just us in the house. In fact, your mom can't even look me in the eye. I'm sure that we basically just end up avoiding each other all day until people come back home.
And this has been going on for at least a month, if not longer? I had no idea that that's how you and my mom interacted.
Well, I just worry that your mom thinks of me as a failure. But I can't blame her. Even just last month, we went to see a doctor about why I can't get pregnant. Although I suppose I should be glad she didn't ask me about how it went.
Oh, come on, don't beat yourself up for that. We're still doing all that we can to try and have children. You have to stay strong and not lose heart. Don't give up, Joyce.
I know, but I also know that your mom is just always waiting for grandchildren. And we've been married 2 years now and still nothing, so I just can't blame your mom for being upset after all this.
Joyce, what are you saying? Don't talk like that. The only people who need to be concerned about you getting pregnant is you and I.
Oliver, do you really mean that?
Of course I do. You shouldn't be letting what my mom has to say on the matter affect how you feel about things. I know that we're both doing our best and even seeking treatment for this issue. So I don't think that my mom has any right to comment on us having kids at all.
Then Thank you so much for saying that, Oliver. That really does mean a lot to me, you know?
Well, I wanted to ask you how you feel about taking a break on the treatments while my sister is here. I know that they can be rough on you and leave you pretty tired. Maybe we can just take a break on trying for a while? After all, it's probably not to work if we're always stressing your body out.
Actually, now that you say that, the doctor did ask if I wouldn't consider taking a break from the treatment as well. He said that it would help my body settle down and de-stress a little bit for the future. I guess he had a lot of success with patients by trying this method out.
Great, then it's settled. We'll take a break and stop worrying about trying for kids for a while. And I just want you to know that my mom and I are going to handle taking care of my sister, so don't worry about anything. I don't want you having to deal with any undue stress.
Hey, Joyce, what is the matter with you, huh? I am looking through these maternity photos that I asked you to take of me, and they all look like crap. How do you expect me to be able to post any of these to Instagram, huh? I thought you used to have your own photo studio before you married my brother, right? That's the whole reason why I hired you in the first place. But when I had my studio, I also worked with a lot of expensive and specialized equipment to get those photos you saw. I think for what I was working with that the photos actually turned out really well. Whatever. These photos aren't as good as I thought they would be, but what else can I expect from someone as useless as you? I shouldn't have asked a broken woman like you to help me with something like this. Excuse me? And just what is that supposed to mean? I mean that you're so useless you can't even take good photos of me, but you probably just can't do it because I'm pregnant and you're not. You're just useless, and I know from my mom that you can't have any kids. So that's why you can't take any good pictures of pregnant women either. I really don't think that one has anything at all to do with the other, and I think you looked great in those photos. So I think you should apologize for your mean comments towards me. I haven't done anything rude to you to merit being talked to like that. Oh, just shut up, you barren old cow. I know that you've been getting treatment for your infertility for the past 2 years. And yet even then you still can't have a child. You're just a broken woman who can't even perform her basic biological functions. But that isn't true. That's not even close to what the doctors told me. They performed lots of tests on me and said that my body is perfectly capable of having a baby with the right support. And yet you're still not pregnant after all this time. Sounds to me like the doctor was just too polite to tell you the truth like I just did. Shut up, you don't know what you're talking about at all. Oh, come on. You really think I can't tell that you're jealous of me for being pregnant? It's obvious from these terrible photos you took. If you weren't so insecure about it, I'm sure that you could have managed to take actually decent photos. But I should have known better than to ask you anyways. And just what makes you think that I'm jealous of you just because you're pregnant? I don't have any kind of jealousy or resentment towards you at all. In fact, I'm happy that you're going to have a kid. Oh man, are you just trying to lie to me, or is this how you try to fool yourself as well? You can't have a kid, and you know it. Besides, you don't know that kids choose their parents. So if you're not pregnant by now, it's because no child wants to have you as their mother. Are you out of your mind? Now you're just being ridiculous. I don't care what someone like you has to say to me. Just retake the pictures of me, got it? And make sure to actually take them well this time. And of course, I won't be paying for this session either since we're family. I assume you don't have anything to say to that, yes?
Hey Joyce, I really am so sorry for the way that my sister was talking to you. I mean, to think that she would just ask you to take those photos and then refuse to pay you.
No, it's okay, Oliver. I actually had a lot of fun picking up a camera again. It had been so long that I didn't even mind not being paid. But I guess Beth had some worries about how they would play on her social media, and so that's why she had me redo them.
Well, I really don't think their poor performance online had to do with the quality of the photo. Did you know that when she posted them, she captioned them with "as taken by my barren, childless sister-in-law"?
She did what? Did she really post those pictures with that caption?
Yeah, and that was all she had to say about you. She didn't say anything nice or gracious, just insulted you. So I don't think it was the photos prompting people to avoid interacting with those posts.
But who in the world would post something that makes themselves look that bad?
I know, right? Then she went on to say in another post that her whole coming back home to give birth was being ruined because you were there. She was writing about how jealous you're acting and how it's making things very difficult for her. I guess maybe she forgot that I also follow her and would see all these posts that she's making.
Wow, I can't believe that she would actually write all of that. It's so much.
I know. And I know that I was the one to ask you to deal with my sister for the time being, but at this rate, I think I'm the one that's going to snap. So, I'm sorry to spring this question on you so suddenly, but what do you think of moving out with me?
Oliver, are you sure about this? You really want to move out of your mom's house?
I just can't stand being in a house where you get treated this way. In fact, I was actually offered a job at my company's HQ.
You mean that they're finally giving you that promotion that you've had your eyes on for all this time?
Well, I guess I just say how hard you were trying when it came to having kids, so that helped push me to want to work harder. And I guess now that all that hard work is paying off, and that's why I was offered this new position.
Oliver, that's amazing! Congratulations! You made this happen!
Well, not only that, but there are quite a few transfers from my division to HQ, so I actually know quite a few people there already. In fact, one of the people over there now actually had a similar problem as us, and now he has 3 kids. He told me that if we move out there, he has a great doctor who he could introduce us to.
That would be amazing.
Apparently, the medical facilities out there are just leagues beyond what we could find in this state. So I think that's a lot of good reasons to move. But for now, let's keep you off the treatments so that when you start again, it'll be a fresh start in a new place.
That sounds perfect, Oliver. I'm so happy that this is happening.
Perfect. Well, let's try and get our bags packed and ready as soon as we can. I don't want to make you spend another second in this house.
Thank you so much, Oliver, but there are still some things that I need to wrap up here. So, you go ahead and start moving, and I'll catch up to you when I can.
Wait, what? What do you mean you still have things to wrap up here?
Well, we can't just leave your mom to take care of your sister when she's about to give birth. After all, your dad is practically bedridden, and your mom is always complaining about some part of her body hurting. So if you leave, then I'll be the only one here capable of giving your sister the help that she needs.
You mean the reason you want to stay behind is all to help my sister?
I know that I may have problems with the mother, but I can't just risk leaving the baby to your parents and sister until it's out safe and sound.
Joyce, I don't know what to say. That's just incredible.
But I'm really happy that you've got this promotion and that we're going to move out. But I just need to finish my duties around here first. Then we can move away and live together in a new place and start a new chapter of our lives together.
Yes, of course. Just please remember to take care of yourself and don't push yourself too hard.
Beth, why did you lock me out of the house? Let me back in right now. Oh, just shut up already. Don't you know that you're not wanted around here? I know that you've already driven my brother to abandon you. So I don't know why you think that you can stay in this house with my parents and I. I'm just glad that my brother was smart enough to leave you before you had kids. But now there's no one here to protect you, and you don't have a place in this family anymore. And since you haven't had any kids either, there's no point in keeping you around at all. So why don't you just beat it? That's really the reason why you've locked me out of the house? Don't you realize that without your brother around, I'm all that you have, really? How are you going to have a safe home birth with just your parents around? Are you trying to tell me that you're staying at home for my sake? Well, if that's the case, then I don't need you. You probably just screw up or get me and my baby sick somehow. I don't want you anywhere near me when it's time for me to have my baby. Do you understand me? You think that I'm going to get you sick? How would that work? Oh, please, you don't think I don't know that this fertility problem of yours isn't just a symptom of something much bigger? I'm sure you have some kind of horrible disease. And it's just a matter of time until you spread it to other people in this house. Are you even reading what you're typing to me at this point? I know it's true because my mom told me so. She told me that we can't keep someone like you around any longer, so why don't you do us all a favor and go? Are you sure about this? Because if this is really what you want, I have no problem going. After all, Oliver only left because he was promoted to a new office, and so we're having to move. So after I leave, we are never coming back again. I'm really not sure what you're going to do since Oliver and I were paying for the utilities around here. What are you talking about? You mean my brother finally got promoted at work? That's right, and then he suggested that he and I move out of here, but I told him I would stay behind to make sure you had your child safely. But since you seem to think I'm some disease-ridden ball of germs, I'll just take my leave. Are you telling me that my brother didn't decide to finally leave you? That's right. Your brother and I are still together and very much in love. But that can't be right. I didn't know that was what was going on. Well, it is. Good luck having the kid with just your parents there to help. And getting driven to your appointments and getting driven back. You know, all of the things that I was doing for you. You think my parents are really that useless? That shows what you know. They'll be able to help me out just fine. So go, leave, and never ever come back. Okay then, just don't say I didn't warn you. A few weeks after that, Beth sent me distressed messages begging for Oliver and I to go back and help her with her birth. Apparently she didn't know that both her parents had already given up their driver's licenses in their old age and were incapable of driving her where she needed to go. Last I heard, she had to take a taxi to drive her all the way to the hospital when she realized her parents were also completely unprepared for a home birth as well. She was really in bad shape by the time she reached the hospital. After she managed to safely have her child, the doctors scolded her on not having been more prepared to have her child. Beth tried calling her husband to come and pick her up from the hospital, but he wasn't answering his phone and had apparently fled the country. Now Beth lives at home with her parents, who take care of the baby as best they can, while Beth goes out and works to try and support all four of them. As for Oliver and I, we've been enjoying our new lives in a new city and blocked all of his family so we would never be dragged into their drama again. I met with the doctor recommended by Oliver's colleague and feel like the tension that may have kept me getting pregnant for so long has finally been relieved.
Isabella, I need to consult you about something. Is that okay? Hi, good evening. What is it again? In the recent mom party that we had, it's about the post-exam trip to Disneyland. Yeah, we're working hard too. And it's spring break after exams. Parents have to have fun too. That's true. Parents have been doing their best. It would be like a graduation trip for parents. That's right. But Disneyland was an unexpected choice, though. You didn't like it? Not at all. It's just that, as a choice for mom-friend trip, I thought we'd go to a hot spring or something. I was especially surprised that you brought it up. Sure, hot springs are nice, but isn't it nice for adults to go to Disneyland? It's good for adults to have a good time at Disneyland, isn't it? It's a stress reliever. Yeah, I guess so. I just wanted to get away from the hustle and bustle of the city. I see. Well then, let's go on another trip to the hot springs. Even after graduating from junior high school, the Mom Friends Alliance is unwavering, right? You really want to go to Disneyland. I'm sorry, I'm just in the mood. I see. So, this time, on my own accord, I'm getting us to go to Disneyland, so let me be the host. What? Actually, I know someone at a travel agency. Really? You know how hard it is to get reservations for spring break? Disneyland is a good candidate for a graduation trip. That's true. So I will use my friend connections to book our hotel and tickets. I would ask to be prioritized. But that's kind of bad. Isn't that rude to your friend too? Not at all. It's more like a thank you for using us to make reservations. I'm sure it helps sales. Right? I mean, it's nice of you to offer that, but did you ask the other two? Yeah, they said yes. Really? They said they'd be more than happy to. Oh, really? So I'll just go ahead and do it. Huh? Actually, I've already made some plans. Oh, really? Aren't you early? It's rather late. Spring break starts around the end of the year. Reservations start coming since the end of the year. My friend told me that we're almost late. Really? It's good to make reservations earlier than later. So, as the organizer, I'm making sure everything is in order. Don't worry, Isabella and the kids' exams are the top priority. Good luck. Wait, what about you, Mia? Oh, we got into a private school on a recommendation. What? Really? You were really uneasy about it just a few days ago, weren't you? Yes, I was. But you know, Jin can't study. And if he can get into that high school through track and field, we'd be very grateful about it. Is that so? Yeah, plus they're waiving the entrance fee. That's great. That's right. So if there's a high school that appreciates Jun so much, we decided that maybe it's the way to go. That's what it is. So I have more time than anyone else. I'll make sure everything goes well. But it's okay. So I'll be in touch. 2 days before trip. Isabella! Congratulations! I heard Oliver passed. Thank you. That's great. It's Harvard, right? As expected of Oliver, right? I'm sure he did all his best this time. After he retired from track and field, he immediately started to study for the entrance exam. I'm surprised he made it in time. That's Oliver. I believed in him. That's reassuring. Thank you. You're welcome. You've been through a lot too, right? Thank you for the hard work. Thank you. So, I'm sorry to tell you this. On this timing, I wanted to talk to you about Disneyland. Is that okay? Sure. I was wondering why I hadn't heard from you. When was the last time we talked about it? January. I'm sorry. I really wanted to contact you more. But the exams were in session. I didn't think you'd want to talk about parents' fun. Oh, I see. You didn't have to worry about it at all. I do. That's why I agreed to take over to be the organizer. Since our school is a national school, the entrance exams are over in February, so I didn't mind if you contacted me. Oh, really? And I've been trying to reach you, but I didn't get a call back from you, Mia. What I'm just saying is, I was wondering if something had happened to you. Sorry about that. I was aware of your message, but I thought it might distract you if I replied. I've been trying to refrain from replying. I'm sorry to put you on the spot. I was the one who contacted you. You shouldn't have to worry if you're bothering me or not. No, when the kids are working hard on the exams, it's not nice for parents to talk about travel. I see. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you feel so uncomfortable. No problem. Anyway, when you contacted me last time, you said you made reservations, right? That's right. Yes, I did get a reservation. I actually did, but... You did, but what happened? Because it's on spring break, all the hotels were fully booked everywhere. I asked my friend to get us a room anywhere. Anywhere will do, just reserve us anywhere. I see. That's a lot of work. Yeah, it was. It was really a lot of work. So, the travel fee is incomparable to the plan. It got expensive. Oh, really? Yeah, sorry, but it's not just us. It's everyone, so I hope you understand. If it's a lot more expensive than it used to be. How much? Yeah, well, we're going to be paying 150,000 yen each for travel expenses. It's a lot to book, but I'm going to do my everything to make it the best mom's trip ever. I'm not going on this trip based on your plan. What? Why do you have to be so rude? Oh, excuse me. What do you mean leaked out? That's a little harsh, don't you think? How could you say such a thing? I've been working so hard for all of us. What? For everyone? Not for yourself? What do you mean? I mean, Isabella, you've been very aggressive with me. Why? I'm the one asking why. Why are you charging us so much? It's only Disneyland. 150,000 yen for a night? I told you, it's spring break. It's hard to get reservations. The hotel we could get was charging spring break prices. They're all overpriced for spring break. I heard that, but you know what? From where we live, the cost of travel to Disneyland and the cost of tickets, 150,000 yen per night is unthinkable and unbearable. That's a ridiculous amount. I told you the expensive place is all that we can get. Oh, by the way, where? What? What hotel? If it's that expensive, it must be a great hotel. I mean, there's no hotel near Disneyland for that kind of money, right? No. Only a handful of classes in California charges that much money. What? How is that possible? My friends around me were able to get a room smoothly in hotels directly managed by Disney. What? During times like this, family and graduation trips, I know a lot of people who go to Disneyland. If you ask them, they'll tell you what's really going on. Really? So that time, you said that you got scolded by acquaintances for being late? Before being appointed as the organizer, you said you had a plan, didn't you? Yes, I did. So why are you telling me that you couldn't get a reservation at all? Isn't it terrible that you took it upon yourself to organize the party without our consent? What do you mean it took on the responsibility of organizing the party? You guys were having a hard time with your kids' exams. I kindly took care of it for you. Is that really true? What? Did you really take over as organizer out of our kindness? Of course I did. What else could it be? What else? Like, help someone else make a sale? Or maybe you're just trying to get yourself a free trip so that you can travel for free. What? Oh my god, did I just hit the nail on the head? Of course not. Why would I do that? Whose sales are you talking about? What, not your boyfriend? What? The guy who's been showing up on Mia's behind-the-scenes Instagram account. That's your boyfriend, right? What? Why? What? Someone told me about him, but I don't remember who. Where did you hear that from? Yeah, it seems to be famous in the mom circle. Mia's behind-the-scenes Instagram account. What? You are proudly posting two-shot with your boyfriend. You're so bold, even though it's adultery. You're kidding! You didn't think they knew? It looks like it was discovered long ago. Why didn't you tell me? Well, that's because it turns people into enemies. What? Isn't it because you cheat people and make yourself look good, so you can take all the credit? What? Mia, you go on a trip with various people, then you forward a bill to pay, so that you could get a free trip, right? Huh? What are you talking about? There's no way I could do that. I'll send you a copy of the proof of payment. Did you see it? You saw that, right? It's not funny. I can't possibly forge this. Actually, you can, with your boyfriend. What? He's a travel agent, right? This acquaintance told us about... You mean, your boyfriend, right? What? When you make travel arrangements as the organizer, you have your boyfriend in charge in addition to the data that's proceeded internally. You create falsified data, and then charge each person 150,000 yen. Mia herself is also paying the bill, and she shows it to everyone. 750,000 yen in total, but then I checked the bills that were still in the company's internal data. 70,000 yen bill per person. 350,000 yen total, and the hotel was a regular city hotel in Oregon. That's crazy, right? Huh? What's with this delusion of internet data? You're mixing up your fantasy with reality. You must be an idiot. You're so delusional that you're accusing people of being delusional. You're crazy, you know that? It's not a fantasy, it's real data. Here, I'll send you a picture. What? See, this is the real payment, right? Mia? Why? What do you think? Don't play dumb with me. Why do you have this picture? You seduced him. You took it from him. You're an asshole. What? What are you talking about? Don't play with me like that, you faded old hag. What's a faded old hag? You're exactly like that. Your love life is more important than your kid's entrance exams, right? You decided to recommend him so early. No, I didn't. John said it was fine. Oliver said, Jan wanted to apply to another school. What? But his mother told him to commit in that school, and he surely won't fail if he does it there. And he'll finish the entrance exam early, and if the entrance fee is waived, he was told that they can go on a trip. What's that? We can go on a trip? You were stingy with the travel expenses of your mom friends and tried to go for free. Jan said that? Also, since the entrance exam was over early, Mom's been working part-time and going out a lot. She's hardly ever home. She brought home a lot of brochures from travel agencies. What? RTB, Town A. What? That's a big branch of a major travel agency in the next station, right? That's where he works. And they put him in charge of all the moms and dads. He makes plans for a lot of trips with his mom friends. What? How do you know all this? Are you saying you saw something? How would you know if I saw something? What? If I saw something? How would I know if Mia did something wrong? I don't know. I've never done anything wrong. But I did see something. Well, technically, someone showed me. What? The branch in A-Town. My brother-in-law works there. Your brother-in-law? That's right. My sister's husband's the branch manager. What? The branch manager? So, when I was looking through the appointment book, he saw my name in one of Mia's reservations and called me. He asked if I was going on a trip. Oh, really? And that's when he told me, Mrs. Johnson, the organizer, is she good friends with her Smith? I asked him why. This is Mrs. Johnson. She's always booking trips for Smith. She's your friend, right? Is everything okay at her home? He said. What? You're telling me that he gave out people's reservation information? I didn't ask him about the reservations or any of the details, but from my brother-in-law's point of view, I'm sure he thought it was crazy. Mia would show up during the Smith's guys' breaks. He'd go to lunch or disappear somewhere. So he was being monitored like that? What is that? I should complain to the company. I mean, the company can't afford to have an affair with a client. It's not like they're looking for trouble. It's a way of preventing trouble. It can't be helped. What? Does that mean I'm a person to watch? I guess you're right. According to my brother-in-law, he's had his eye on you for a while. Just because I'm suspected of infidelity? That's good enough for me. Well, it's not because you set up a shady appointment with Smith. What's fishy about that? I just told you. It's a tampering charge. What? Instagram exposed you. I told you it was because you bought a grudge against you. You've done something like this before, right? What? That's what I heard. So when Mia said she wanted to be the organizer, I thought, this is it. What's that? But I'm stuck here with my son's exams. I've got the kid's social life. I can't just say no. So I've been sending you regular messages online to check in with you, but you completely ignored me. When you contacted me once, the only message you told me was that it might be too expensive. Just when I thought, oh, this could be that black, I got a call from my brother-in-law. What's that perfect timing? Yeah, it was. So, you're saying you knew something was fishy? That's right. By the time my son finished his entrance exams, I totally knew. Really? But it still surprised me. You used your boyfriend's company, and then used the difference to go on a trip with your boyfriend. I don't know. You did that, right? You've been doing it for a while now. And you were going to do it, weren't you? Using my name. Oh! I was surprised when my brother-in-law told me. Isabella, this Miss Johnson, you get along pretty well with her that you go to 2 trips on spring break? Me and Mia? Were we supposed to go on 2 trips? Oh no! And I was surprised again at the price. The price you charged me this time, excluding you, who has no intention of paying, 150,000 yen times 4 people equals 600,000 yen. The original billing price of 70,000 yen times 5 people, 350,000 yen. The difference of 250,000 yen was for the other trip. I didn't hear anything about it, and I wasn't charged for it. Are you okay? I must have given the wrong name. I'm not going with you. Of course not. What? My brother-in-law thought it was suspicious, so he checked all of your previous reservations. He found several similar cases. What? People who didn't notice, and those who did notice? There must have been a lot of people, huh? I don't know anything! If it's a small amount of money, the smaller the amount, the less likely they are to find out. But then you got a taste for it, so you make the amount bigger. And the bigger they got, the bigger they noticed. And they also found you having an affair. Shut up! Either way, it's 2 days before the trip. Even if we cancel, they're going to charge me a cancellation fee. We have no choice but to go. Of course we're going on the trip. Right? But we're not going with you. What? I told you before, didn't I? I'm not going on the trip you're planning. So then, it's impossible for us to go on this trip. I'm the one planning the trip. I've got us cut out of your plans. What? Mr. Smith resigned, and Mr. Smith's case was transferred to my brother-in-law, and my brother-in-law said it was a scam, so our reservation was cancelled by the branch manager's authority, and rebooked our trip with a different plan. What? He resigned? Of course he did. He had an affair with a client. He helped her cover it up, and he forged documents. That's... Under normal circumstances, he would have been dismissed immediately, but they were able to get him to resign voluntarily. Maybe it's better. When? When did he leave? The week before last week. That's when he said he was going out of town for a while. Then I couldn't get him on the phone. I'd expect him to refuse. I mean, it's his fault. He's the one who did all the wrong things that leads him to resign. And you're the one who put him up to it. He also had a good time. I don't know. Anyway, we're going on another trip. He is taking 2 trips, solo. I hope you have fun. What? 2 trips? Disneyland and a trip to the hot springs. You took a trip to the hot springs with him, so the trip with your mom friends was to Disneyland? That was weirdly convincing. Hey, did they cancel my reservation? Because it was Mia's reservation, they can't just cancel it on their own. Besides, it would be too risky for the scammers to find out. So I canceled just the reservation in our names. That pisses me off. I'm the one who's pissed, right? You used our names without our permission, and then you put a fake on top of it, and then added on the price. I almost got scammed. I'm so sorry. Apologize to the others too. I'm sure just apologizing won't be enough to get you forgiven. Please handle it with sincerity. What? Of course, it's a crime. I didn't mean to do it. I don't know what you meant. I don't know what you think you're doing. It's none of our business. You can be sued. Pay the fees. Wipe your own ass. You're lying! Enjoy your 2 solo trips. Have fun and keep your wits about you. Bye. After that, we set off on our long-awaited trip to the hot spring, with warm hot spring water and delicious food soaked into our tired bodies. As for Mia, I immediately contacted RTB's A Matchy store. My brother-in-law debunked all of Mia's quibbles. If it was too much, he said, I was told that they would have to bring in the police. Mia broke down with her tail between her legs. She had no choice but to pay the cancellation fee for the 2 trips, and that was the end of the conversation. However, Mia received a message from a previous victim. She received a content-certified mail at her home. Mia was in a panic. Yeon Kun also started to rebel against Mia because of her betrayal in the high school entrance exam. Her lover left her. Her husband asked her for a divorce. Mia is now a semi-reclusive person.